So I'm driving an absolute replica as far as I can make a replica on this game of my actual track car. But the thing is, I've had it on sport soft tires the whole time, and it just produces an outrageous lap time that it just would not be realistic. So I now currently have sport hards. You can see in the bottom left, that's a sport hard tire. We do have, it's top of the morning, like 8 a.m. Track edge real, tire degradation, fuel loss is on. As you can see, the fuel gauge and everything. So I'm going to try to run as fast as I possibly can and as consistent as I possibly can. In real life, I don't really know what my car will run. I know I have ran a 145, but that was at a 90 dB day, I think it was, 93 dB day, and I can't run my car flat out up the straight between 5 and 6. So it was just for me to learn Laguna Seca, not for me to go all out. But the next time I go to Laguna Seca is going to be a 103 dB day, and I believe my car is under that. So here we go. Let's go on a flat out run. Let's see how fast I can absolutely make this car travel. You see the very first lap I did a 140, but let's see if that's what this car is gonna do. This is kind of deep. Tires are cold. It might take a lap or two for us to warm back up. But this car is loose. My real car is tail happy. But amazing turn in and amazing side bite. You just gotta kind of tend to the pedal a little bit more. Even though the car is very low power, very low torque, you do want to be like real on it with the pedal. Deep back on throttle. The cool thing that kind of clips right here, we would go track left, go about half throttle, and then get back on throttle right here. So that's where my lap times in real life are suffering because of that. That's where the sound tower is, where the dB is. So this next lap, we're gonna go flat out and see what we can get. And I messaged my boy Joe. You know, he seems to be the professional that I know that I can depend on good information from. And I asked him which line would be the best line going down after the corkscrew. Go wide left, wide right, and then make the apex, or just kind of come out the corkscrew as it is and then just hook the apex. He said for our cars, my type of car, which is a momentum car, kind of really doesn't matter. We don't have enough power to really utilize anything. But all right, let me focus up. This is the run. Try to hang tight and get on throttle early. A little bit of wheel spin. We're running straight into the braking zone here. I'm not going to downshift. I'm just going to hold it. Get on throttle. No torque, no wheel spin, no concern, no worries. Lift, turn in, get apex, back on throttle. Flat out. The gears are short enough to get into fourth, but we're just going to ram it down. Back on throttle. We're gonna stay pinned, rolling all the way up this. This is always the part that used to give me anxiety, but just lift, touch brakes, turn in, back on throttle. Let it carry a little bit sideways there, so that's not as fast as I can go through there, but take that right up to the limiter and stab the brake to the pad, downshift 1-2, make this tightness on throttle, all torque. Don't exist. So this is the line that I was asking about, which was fastest. He was like, for all cars, it really don't matter. But for me, it's been off throttle that long right there. So that's kind of where I feel like I could go quicker if I took a different line. But, you know, I'm going to take his judgment, and what he says doesn't really matter. And we'll go back on throttle real quick here. Very slight wheel speed. Now, this is suspension tune. My real car suspension, it's like 2,500 pounds. It's only 200 horsepower. So and it's got aero. So that's what I try to do with this car here. Tight turn in, bleed some of that off. Over rotated, but we're all right. Back on throttle. You see we got a 139.3. That's fast as hell for this car, that is. So my car is on 245s, 255s, but I got it on 245s currently, which is a pretty good setup for stock wheelbase or stock width. And with that stock width, you know, I'm running a really chunky tire. The only way I could get a tire that chunky on this game was to wide body it. I do wish that we could run a wider size tire, like specifically from the part shop, but that's not available as of yet. Tight on the curve, floor and head down the hill. That feels crazy in real life when you accelerate down the hill like that. Real nervous. Oh, damn, got it. Ah, shit. I was about to say real nervous steering on that corner exit. That's kind of why I think I like to take the wide line out of there, which I'll do the next lap. It's almost a pacifier of proper steering. I'm not dealing with such a tight turn or a heavy G-load and side bite coming out of that corkscrew. So still respectable lap of 140. And I mean, honestly, that's really fast for what this car is and what's supposed to be. Heavy on the brakes, turning in, downshift, turning in big, back on the throttle, floored right there at apex. And no downshift, just heavy on the brakes, turn in, beat apex, back on throttle, floored right here. And let off, turn in, and floored again. Oh, slide, but we still kept pace. Up the limiter to fourth gear and stabbed the brakes on the downshift. Missed the apex a little bit, but we're all right. We're still kind of in the space in the vicinity of this hill we would typically lift, but let's see if we can clean up this back end. Back on throttle big. Woo! Nice little slide. It's cool as hell because all these real things and elements that I do experience at the track, I'm experiencing right here with the slides and everything like that. That's really what I got. All right, here we go. So I would go track right all the way to the apex and come out with some speed. Well, that didn't do me good because I ran over the sausage. But if you can tuck it real good right there on the curb, that's what... it screwed up the whole backside. But that's what I would do with the GT cars, the cars that were like really fast with aero. But he said that one doesn't really matter with these cars. Alright, so back on the pace. Cut this wheel speed out. Alright, back on the pace. Let's try to get it again. We'll see if we can get a 138 maybe. Let's put some work in. And again, full throttle, heavy on the brakes with a downshift, another downshift, turn in, apex, back on throttle early, and heavy pedal on exit. We're gonna run this in, I wanna hit this properly. And on throttle, we're sideways, a little counter steer, but we're good, right up to the apron, let off, turn in, tap brake, and back on throttle. Gained on the ghost, used all of the track. Right up to the limiter, pop fourth, and huge brakes and downshift, back on the throttle, good. Let's roll up this hill with some speed. That curve kind of fucked us, but we're all right. We're still on pace. I can pick up ground up here. Flat out. And shift. Without having that torque, you don't want to shift too early. Nice turn in, flat out, upshift to third. And he said line it up right between weather and tech, and then just glide it on down the hill. And flat out right there. Heavy brakes, turn in, back on the throttle, and flat out again. And right up to the limiter and brake. And flat out again, early on the throttle. We had a good gap, but now it's on me. I screwed up between turn 10 and 11. But that's a good pace. Boom, 39.2. I want to see if we can get 38 though. Let's go. Seems good. A little fast in there, but I'm able to get back on throttle flat out. Lift, turn, flat out again, right there. There we go. And heavy brakes and downshift. Oh, Dylan, counter steer. All right, we good, we good. We got a little gap too. Sometimes loose is fast. Woo! Take that all the way out there. Oh, big braking. Lost time, but we're still good. Let's go! Let's go! Alright, this might be a good one if I don't screw this up. Always on me. Or I'm on me. That looked like a gap. There we go. That was a good exit. We got the 38 right there. Bing! Oh, this thing is moving fast, man. See, this is kind of thing, like if I had an open track by myself on a track day, clean air, it could probably do this, maybe. But I'm sure I would run out of equipment and materials very quickly. Fuel and tires, of course, because this is heavy on the vehicle. So that's kind of achievable if we just got the flat out lap. But this is on probably the weakest sport tire that we could put it on, Sport Hards. That was cool, man. This is what the training thing is all about. Like I said, I'm going to hit up a 103 dB day, so I'm gonna be able to run this as it is, without the mufflers and everything and lifting going up the hill. So hopefully I can get close to these times. I don't know what the car can do. The homie says the car should be able to do a 40 or a 41, but I'll cut it even and we'll look for a 42. So that's what I'm planning on doing next time I do hit a Gunseika in the RX-8. It will not be on fresh rubber, but I did do one event on these tires, so this should be all right. This should be in good standings for a heavy whooping track day. But that's about all we got, and we'll finish out looking at this replay.